Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give it a gun. Down we dive, spouting our flame from under. Off with one terrible roar. We live in flame, we go down in flame. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. Over hill, over down, we have hit the dusty trail, and those caissons go rolling along. Counter march right about, hear those wagon soldiers shout, while those caissons go rolling along. For it's high, high in the field artillery. Call off your numbers, but it's strong. 2, 3, 4, and where we go, you will always know that those caissons are rolling along. Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day, 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 day. Through our last night on shore, anchors away. Until we meet once more, here's wishing you a happy voyage home. We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in thee. Through surf and storm and howling gale, I shall our purpose be. Semper Paratus is our guide, our fame, our glory too. To fight, to save, or fight and die, I Coast Guard, we are for you. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines.
Room 10 Hut! You're listening to MilitaryChatRadio.com.
All right. Hey, and good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of the Al Young Show. And this is Military Chat Radio, and my co-hosts.
Hello, guys. This is Sergeant WP, hoping that you had a good week. So, how is everyone doing out there? To all our veterans and veterans family, we just want to let you know as the holiday approaches that you keep in mind safety and to secure your things as you go shopping. Ladies, please do not leave your purse, your pocketbook, or valuables on the seat because Big Brother and Big Sister is always watching.
Yeah, well, we don't know how big they are, but they're always watching. Trust me, they watch a lot better than you do. And that is something that you do want to keep in mind, that wherever you go, whatever you do, that you think twice about once you walk away, that is my vehicle secure? Is my possessions secure? Try not to leave anything in plain sight. Because if you do, remember, there's people who walk around looking for things that are in plain sight, and that's when they give you a car or whatever you've got laying around, that extra little, let's see if it's open and let's see if it's available to me. And then they go shopping.
Yes, and I just want to remind our veterans out there that, again, as of December 1st, you no longer receive a paper check from the VA for your travel pay. So if you get a travel pay for your service-connected injury, and you have to claim travel, everything is done electronically now. So you stop by the travel office and make sure that you have your banking information to give them so that, your travel pay would be electronically deposited in your account. And for all our veterans, if you're still receiving a paper check from the U.S. Treasury Department as of March 31st, 2013, and I'm telling you, it's really creeping up on us. I would like to say it's running, but it's right around the corner.
Well,
They
yeah.
they will no longer be sending out paper checks. So I'm
No.
reminding all our veterans out there, please, if you know someone that's receiving a paper check from the U.S. Treasury Department, they need to uh, register with the U.S. Treasury Department their financial
Institution.
information.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? Listen, we've been saying it for a while, and probably it's for those guys who were basically been out there for a while, who haven't gone to the VA for a while, who haven't dealt with them. And so you guys need to go ahead and start picking up the phones and making some phone calls. And for guys who are just coming into the system, more than likely you're being taken care of in
Right.
that sense. But everyone, go ahead and give it a try. And we're beating you over the head with it, but at the same time, it's never too much because you'll find out that it'll come and bite you.
Well,
And it's sort of like that sign on the fence that says vicious dog or mean dog or just dog, period. And you still open up the gate and go in. And then when you get bit, you say, oh my God, I didn't pay any attention to the sign. So we're letting you know that sign is there and it's a warning. And don't let it happen to you because it might be the check that you really need at that particular time and you don't get it.
Well, DFAS has a number here. If you should need to call them just to find out more particulars about it, that number is 1-800-321-1080. Again, that number is 1-800-321-1080. So please, I urge you to take care of this because before you know it, I mean, it was just 2 weeks ago. It was December 1st. Now we're almost into the middle of December. And before you know it, January 1st will be here. So time is really moving fast. And we don't want you to get caught out there.
And for you guys who are a little older, time gets really fast. You'll be surprised at how quickly it goes by.
Okay. So also, the Bay Area Brotherhood, they're located here in Tampa. They're presenting their 40th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. banquet. That banquet will be held January 12, 2013 on MacDill Air Force Base at the Surf Edge Club. The donation is $50, which includes your menu of fry or baked chicken, barbecue ribs, potato salad, candy yams, black-eyed peas, collard greens, rice, cornbread rolls, peach cobbler, and tea or coffee. What this foundation basically does, they assist and help out with children that are disadvantaged. So while it's a banquet, there's a lot that they contribute to the Bay Area. And should you need a ticket to attend these festivities, please give Mr. Calvin Doss a call at 813-938-3258. He would be more than happy to answer any calls or sell you a ticket for this banquet. And keep in mind, it's not just a banquet, but it's a fundraising event to assist the disadvantaged kids of the Tampa Bay area.
Are there a couple of other names on there also?
It sure is. They have Hazel Rivera. Her number is 813-827-9172 or 813-786-3812. There's also Curtis Wilson. And Mr. Curtis Wilson could be reached at 813-503-0257.
Okay.
Again, that number is 813-503-0287.
Okay. The only reason I want to give out those other names is because now we're getting very close because this is coming up this weekend. if I'm not mistaken. Right?
No, it's not. It's in January,
It's
so
in
they
January.
have
Okay.
some time. But keep in mind that tickets are moving fast, and we don't want you to get
You know,
caught behind the
God,
Powerball.
you know, my mind is really shot. My whole thing there was, I was thinking our grand opening for the new station was this weekend too.
Oh,
I'm
see,
shot. But anyway,
Al,
I want them to start getting in touch with everyone and start calling to get those tickets out there. And just in case they can't get in touch with Calvin, that they can contact as many people as possible so they can get as many tickets out there to the public.
right.
You
Well,
know,
before the end of the show, I'll go over and I'll remind our listeners of this festivities. Of course, the guest speaker at the festivity would be General Lloyd and Newton. He's retired, Air Force. So please, I ask everyone. Sometimes you don't need to be taken care of, but someone else needs to be taken care of, and that's what we all are about as
yes.
veterans, taking care of veterans and others.
Yeah, because you know what? Now the Army, well, I shouldn't say the Army, the military itself has got another, 200,000 individuals that are going to be leaving the service in the near future. And that's a lot of people who are going to be soon veterans themselves. So, we got to start looking forward to more people in the system. And we're all going to be looking out and seeing what happens. So, as usual, the military is going to be doing a lot for a lot of people. There are going to be a lot of claims and a lot of people needing help. So, listen, if you know people who are getting out of the military, please try to help them, try to get them going towards the VA to put in their claims, to get things that they desperately need, and always, whatever expertise you may have in helping, please pass that on to the next person because we all need that help. It's so hard breaking to see someone who's been out there for so many years and no one seems to have ever gotten to them and they don't seem to know what to do and they're just kind of like, well, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. And they need help. And, if you've got some kind of expertise or how to help them, please help them because, they're all our brothers and sisters and we need to point them in the right direction to get them going. Because if you don't help them, nobody helps them. And look at how many homeless veterans there are floating around the place. And this is one of the main reasons because they've given up on the system. They have just said, I throw my hands up. And we don't need anyone throwing their hands up when there's so much help that a lot of people can get. And if we continue to let this happen, then we're going to see more and more homeless individuals out there who are veterans who could be getting help. And we don't want that, especially when they've served their country and there's so much that their country can actually do for them. And we let them just kind of like fall through the cracks because it's on us. A lot of people say, well, listen, I'm worried about myself and myself only. No, you don't need to be that type of individual because you know what? As I'm walking around all the time, I'm always running into veterans, and I know that there are people out there who they respect the fact that, oh, you're a veteran, I'm a veteran, and they're always saying, thank you for doing something for our country. And hey, listen, I'm a veteran, and so on, so on, so on, so on. So there are people, I just run into, and they're telling me, hey, well, listen, what are you doing? I got this, I got that. Is there anything? They want to help me, and I'm saying, hey, great, but I know that there are people out there who are trying to help people. And when you see someone who's homeless, these are the people who we really need to help. These are the people we need to get into the system.
We need to reach out to.
Yeah. And this is what it's all about. Going out there and making sure that all our brothers and sisters are taken care of. Because if we don't do it, then they're not going to get the help that they need. I mean, there are agencies out there who are trying to get to them, but I mean, unless they get to those agencies, it's not going to work.
And it is that because a lot of them have been homeless for so long that they really don't know and they don't get the information. So another form of getting information out to these veterans is word of mouth. As you drive by and you see them, tell them to give us a call here at the station, 727-493-2055. Maybe we can guide them in that direction. Or for the holidays, you see a veteran, give them something to eat. Try and help them out. Let them know that there's people out there that cares. Some of them just want to know that they're not alone. There's someone out there that cares for them. And we certainly care. We want to make sure that if we can get them to the institution that will afford them the proper care, that's what we do.
Yeah, because it's a matter of, if you're blessed, then try to make sure the next guy is blessed some kind of way. And a blessing is just a way of saying, listen, here's something that I can do to help you, get something that you desperately need. And that person is being taken care of. Go out there and open up your hearts. It doesn't cost you a penny sometimes. And if you do want to give somebody something, give them something that's going to help them.
Yes.
And a lot of times information is a treasure chest to a lot of people. That's the greatest thing that they can get, is information that's going to help them in the long run, that's going to open up a lot of things to them, the things that they didn't know about or should have been getting all along. And when we talk to these people, and then we could set them up with some of the different organizations like the DAV, AMVETS, and American Legion, and so many others. There's like 73 different organizations that can help veterans. So if we got that many organizations out there, and these are military-oriented organizations, there's a lot of help that they can get. And there's even more organizations that are not really military organizations, but they do help veterans. And hey, guys and girls, we need to be out there trying to help one another. And there's a lot of help that we can all get. So we need to be doing things for one another. And it's kind of heartening to know that here's somebody who was willing to give up their life just to make sure that America stays where it is. And then they're out there in the street, and none of us are stopping to help them other than, we just say, well, okay, here's $1. I mean, I think that's great when we do give them something, but at the same time, they need a little knowledge as to how to make it on their own. Some people don't really want to be helped a lot of times. Yeah, that's true too. But at the same time, a lot of people just don't have the knowledge. So if you've got any expertise in a particular field, then sometime maybe you ought to, pull off to the side and see whether or not you could give them some information that's going to guide them in the right direction, because that's what they really need, empowerment. And empowerment, when you take an individual and give them something that they didn't have before, that's going to get them the things that they need, then you've done something. You've given them some power, you've given them some information, you've given them something that's going to put them in the course and the right direction that they need to be in. And I think those are the things that we really need.
This is why I tell you, sometimes as I drive by, various areas and I see the veterans, it does something to me. And, a lot of times I'm like, hey, how are you doing? When was the last time you visited the VA? And, it saddens me because a lot of these veterans are the older veterans, the World War II vets. And, they just have given up. We want to remind them that there are people out there that cares for them and that want to help. I mean, that's what they need to hear. You can get help. The VA has tons of programs out there to get you back on the right track. but a lot of times our veterans have given up on themselves. So we just need to remind them, especially the holiday season. It's a very sensitive time of year, and a lot of veterans out there that are homeless get a little depressed at this time because, it's nothing for them to be jolly about. They're homeless. So we just want to remind them that there's help. And if they'll just allow us to help them, then, we can get them on the right track and get them started before the new year comes about.
I think I get depressed when I just feel no one really cares anything about me, and
Al,
I'm
I
sure.
care about you.
Well, thank you, dear. But my thing is, I just feel people, even on a normal basis, when we get to the point where we feel that even when we have a bad day, if no one cares about us, we feel that, what, listen, I've had a rough day. It's just like I'm all alone. I'm that island by myself.
Well, you know what it is, Alan. I think it has a lot to do with us just being such a selfish. We've become a selfish nation. It's always about me, me, me. Look at me. I did this. It's all about me. No, sometimes we need to include our neighborhood, include our surroundings into our circle.
Well, we do a lot of things, and a lot of people have gotten so wound up in the things that they do to, we're fast paced. We get out there and we're in such a hurry to do everything that I think a lot of times we don't really think about a lot of things. We just kind of like go, 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 go. And, as we pass people, we see them. It's sort of like when you're in a car and all day long you could pass, like for weeks, you could pass by a building or a structure or anything, and you never pay attention to it. Until maybe one day you're not the driver, you're the passenger. Then all of a sudden you notice it. Gee, I never really noticed that before. Okay? So it's one of those things. And I think that's how we've gotten. But, I think a lot of times because I'm conscious of it and I'm always thinking about it when I see people, what position are they in? Look at that guy on the corner. And then some of them are holding up the signs, I'm a vet, so and so and so and so and so and so. You think about that and say, boy, that poor guy, I wonder if he's been so and so. And then when you stop him and you talk to him and you say whatever, a lot of times these guys are the ones who, well, man, I haven't been here in a long time and I had, so yes. But people see them, they don't see them, they see them out of the corner of their eyes. And it's kind of like, well, I'm in a hurry, and we don't make a conscious effort to do anything because we're in such a rush or we're in a hurry or we see them and we don't see them because we're not thinking about them. And that happens. I mean, that's how we have things. We're always in a hurry to do something, but we don't think about that other person, that person who might have been the same guy in a foxhole with us or might have been in the same area where we were, but wore the same uniform or did the same things that we do. We don't think that, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. And that other person, they're catching hell. They don't look at it that way.
Well, we hope that, as time goes on, there'll be a change of mind, a change of heart.
Well, I just look at people just need to be aware of their surroundings a lot of times. It's hard. I mean, it's always hard because we're always fast paced. And if we can get a chance to slow down a little bit, a lot of times that helps out a whole lot also. So guys and girls, when you're out there and you're driving around, if you see someone, kind of slow down and look at them. And if it's one of us, think about it, how well you're doing. And just ask yourself, how well could the next person be doing if they had a little ammunition out there to fight the war with, and that war would be of getting themselves together.
I think we ought to host a show next called Veterans Taking Care of Veterans, because that's what we do. We
Yeah.
really honestly just want to make sure that all our veterans and their families are being taken care of. So again, as the season approaches, let's not forget that there's somebody that might be less fortunate than you are, and we always want to make sure that we take care of our brothers and sisters out there. So don't just bypass a veteran as you drive by. Find out how can you help them. How can you offer them something to eat? Can you give them some information where they can get help? Okay. So Al, what's going on with you? How's you getting prepared for the holiday?
Oh yeah, I'm getting there. I haven't won the lotto yet, but I'm getting there.
I think that's all our problems. The lottery was what, $500 million?
Yeah,
I
well,
just wanted 1 million. I didn't get one penny.
well, I don't know. I think the last guy came up today. I saw on the news where what was it? The family who won finally came up. I saw it this morning.
Where's he from? Arizona?
Yeah, this guy from Arizona. His family had
Wonder if he
won.
needs a financial advisor.
He already that's why it took him so long to come up, because he got his lawyer, his financial
He got his ducks in a row.
financial advisor, and everybody else. Yes.
Well, he's gonna need someone that watches them, because you always gotta have somebody that watches somebody, and I'm always available if you need some, extra eyes.
And, it's called an auditor. That's all he needs.
Well, I did do auditing. I mean, I just want to make sure that I get paid as well.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. My whole thing there is, you always hope that people like that are giving to the next guy to make sure that everyone goes. And I think that's something that they'll do. I think our next little thing is I've got a couple of appointments coming up at the VA, and I'll be running over there. And then, oh, gee, what is it? I'm always going to the VA. I practically live at the VA.
Did you go up there for Pearl Harbor Day? It was just Pearl Harbor about a couple of days ago. And I've just been so bombarded with doing some schoolwork, but I wanted to just wish everyone a safe and happy and a belated Pearl Harbor Day. It's always, the military is so near and dear to my heart.
Well, I didn't go up there because, I at my kids' school, so I was running between the kids' school and with my wife working at nights. A lot of times it's kind of difficult for me to go to a lot of different things. But I'm trying to work that out.
Okay. Well, again, we just want to reiterate, there's a lot of events going on. As the holiday approaches, please, we ask you to be careful. And not that we have anyone out there that socializes alcohol, but if you do, make sure you have a designated driver. Please, we've been having so many incidents. People go out to their holiday function and socials, and, they don't think about, how am I going to get home? I've had one too many drinks.
And we know that people in the military never touch alcohol.
Okay, if it sounds good to you, it sounds good to me. But for those of you who do, alcohol is a legal drug, but until you abuse it.
Well,
Please.
you know what? Listen, I can't think of anybody. Basically, when I was coming in, it wasn't drinking. I was the only guy who didn't drink. But you know what? I think it's like anything, in moderation. And if you're going to have a good time, have a good time. But at the same time, you always have to be aware of what you're doing. Moderation is the key factor to everything. And again, yes, if you are going to have a good time, then always think about the fact that you have to get home. You have to do it safely, and you have to be aware that whatever your actions are, there are consequences is if you go over those actions. And listen, having a good time just means enjoying yourself and getting home safely, making sure that you're safe for everybody else on the road also.
It saddened me because I was just, browsing through the television, and it was 2 days ago that I heard on the news that a football player, and I don't recall what team he plays for, but he was driving his vehicle intoxicated, and
Yeah.
his best friend was in the car,
Yeah.
and the best friend died. So, I mean, here you are, you ruined your life, you ruined his life, and then you ruined your family's life. So there are 4 families that are, that has to deal with this during this holiday season, or just a tragic incident because you were selfish enough to go out and drink and you didn't think about the after actions. The military always teaches us to have plan B. And if you have a plan B, when plan A goes, a little left, you got plan B to fall back on. So I urge you, we have a lot of young people out there that are driving and that are going to their Christmas celebration or their holiday festivities. And we want you to have a good time. But what's the sense in having one good day and 364 bad days?
Well, I think it's like anything. The military has gotten to the point where, like anything, they teach and they really put it through your head about your consequences as far as your actions, as far as alcohol, as far as drugs, as far as everything these days. I mean, when I was getting out, that's all they kept talking about, and I'm sure right now that's all they ever talk about is all of these things because they want people to be responsible for just about everything that you can come up with, and that's what I kind of really think is really good because I mean you have a lot of young individuals who join the military, and of course there's a lot of frustrations and a lot of stress that goes on with being in all kind of situations that these individuals deal with now. And of course, you'll have people who will want to indulge a little bit more than usual. But at the same time, a lot of them are being taught the responsibilities of their actions. And again, there are a lot of people these days who follow that. And you'll realize that it's not as severe as it used to be many, many years ago because of the education that everybody's receiving these days. And the military is on top of a lot of things because they realize what's behind so many tragic events and how do we cope with it? What's the best line of defense for all the problems? So many things have changed with the military over the years because when you look at the way they used to do it, and then you look at today, and you look at things that they're doing to combat certain situations as far as future goals are concerned, there are changes that they're always making, always looking at how do we prevent things, how do we do things to make things better for our individuals who are serving, people who are there, and how do we do the best that we can do. It's no longer well, let's see what happens after so many incidences. It's sort of like the best medicine, I guess, is to prevent something instead of waiting for it to happen.
Well, again, the only prevention is we don't say don't do it, but you have a designated driver.
Yeah.
Someone has to be the bigger person says, well, I'll step up. I won't drink. And, I'll be the driver. But you can't and we will not tolerate that you get behind the wheel intoxicated. So please, I urge you, don't do it because law enforcement are coming down really hard and they need to.
Well, you know what? That's very true. But at the same time, you also got to teach people moderation also because, first of all, you don't want them intoxicated. You don't want them to be so impaired that they can't do or they can't function. Because if that's the case, then they shouldn't be out there anyway. Because then if you got to have a whole bunch of designated drivers, then that means that I'm not being a responsible
Mhm.
individual. You know, I'm just going out there and I'm saying, okay, I'm going out tonight. I'm going to be so sloppy drunk or what have you that I cannot control my actions. So you don't really need to be out there. You should have stayed home. You shouldn't go anywhere because you're a problem waiting to happen. I mean, you know, this is my whole thing is, you know, when you look for things like that, or if you go out and it's just like saying, you know what, I'm going to go out tonight and instead of putting all my money in my wallet, I'm going to hold it in my hand where everybody can see it. So now it's like saying, okay, I'm waiting to be robbed. You know, and the same thing happens if you go out and you decide that, you know, I'm going to drink till I'm crazy, then you're waiting for whatever happens.
It just worries me because,
Yeah, and it shouldn't happen because responsibility. And you know, the military isn't look. You know, it's sort of like when you're joining the military. The military is looking for people who are
responsible.
yes, and then the military is looking for people who can handle today's technology. You know, they're not looking for people who can't go to college, who can't advance or can't do the things that they need you to do today. If you can't do what the military needs, then they say, well, listen, you don't need to join the military. And at the same time, it's just like when you come back to responsibility. If you can't be responsible, if you can't control yourself, if you can't act like the type of person that we need, then we don't need you. And I think they're looking at everything. When they get people now, they're looking at the whole individual because why do we need a person to join the military? And let's say it's a person that if he joins, it's someone that we can't control, someone who's going to end up in Leavenworth. Well, we didn't need that person to begin with. You know, we needed a person who was going to be here to do things to where we could say we have a really wonderful individual who made us proud, who went from private to maybe sergeant major, or who went from lieutenant to general. You know, the person
In a short time.
Huh?
In a short time.
Yeah.
In a very short time.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, and you know, and they're doing it. So I just think the military, when you look at it, it's just looking for certain individuals, no different than any other major corporation, because what corporation looks for people who, you know, when you look at a resume, you know, they're asking you for everything, you know? Okay. All right, now we're going to stop and we're going to take a call. Hello?
Okay. Guess our caller will call us back. We might have lost touch with you, but give us a call
Wait a minute,
back
hold-
at the extension.
Okay. Well, I guess that didn't happen.
Give us a call back here at the station, 727-493-2055.
Excuse me? Okay.
Yeah, so we just want everybody to be responsible at what they do. If you're just going to go out and enjoy the holidays, and that's what you're supposed to do, because that's why, that's what the holidays are all about, meeting with people and friends and family and having a good time. But you have to be a responsible person, responsible, having someone that will, if you're having too much to drink, that person will say, I'll be the responsible person to drive you home. Is there a caller we have out there?
Oh, well, apparently it just ended. No problem with that. Keep going. Anyway, so my other thing is we going to try and get in touch with some of the people that we had scheduled to get with to come out on the show. Some of the other organizations, and that should be coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, after our big move, because we're going to a new location.
Yep.
Yay!
We'll be moving to the Tampa State studios eventually.
Okay. And then we'll be closer to McDill, so we'll be able to get out more information and just letting everybody know that we're out there for them. Let us be your second source of information if you need to find out anything. What's going on? What are the financial institutions out there that benefit veterans can benefit from? You know, we were just talking at our DAV clubhouse that there are banks out there that are offering mortgages for refinance, and there's lots of institutions out there that can give you good rates. You just have to do your homework. You call up and challenge them. Find out what are they offering. Just don't settle for the first bank that tells you, yeah, we'll do a refinance and we'll lower your mortgage rate. Well, who are you competing them with? So that's it. But again, I just want to remind our veterans out there, March 31st is quickly on our back door, and that'll be the U.S. Treasury Department. They're going electronic payments. So just remind your fellow veterans and some of the guys that might be homeless out there who don't get this information. And this is what we're talking about, just helping them out. Find out if they need to call the U.S. Treasury Department if they're getting a check, because come March 31st, we don't want them to be behind the Powerball. So if you need to get information out to them, that number at DFAS is 1-800-321-1080, and they can help them out.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of curious about that because you know what? When you go down to the VA, now this is one that the more I think about that, now most of the time they want you to have a mailing address anyway for all of that, and when you have like set up a checking account and the whole 9 yards, if a person is homeless, I'm trying to figure out how's that going to work.
Well,
that's going to be cute.
Yeah, that's interesting to find out. I don't know if they have, something else in place to help those veterans.
Well, but
that are homeless.
I guess is some kind of way something's got to be worked out, because if a guy is homeless, I guess they've got to set up someplace for him to have an address for a home of record, or for a place of record, because mail's got to be able to come there. He's got to be able to get his statements in the whole 9 yards. Okay, so anyway, we'll see what happens.
That's an interesting thing. I don't know if DFAS has an answer for that, or if the VA have an answer for it. I certainly don't, but we can find out, because we do have veterans that are in that situation.
We'll get that information, because there's some questions that I'm sure people would like to know one way or another, because there are things that if we don't find out, it's going to be kind of hard for other people to know. So we need to find that out. So we'll get that information, so at least we can give somebody an answer, because there's a couple of things that we need to kind of look into, so the audience can at least know what's going on out there.
Right. And again, let's support our Bay Area Brotherhood, who's sponsoring a banquet January 12, 2013. It's the 40th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. banquet. It will be held at MacDill Air Force Base at the Surf Edge Club. I've never been in that club. I think I'll be there for this banquet. All righty. And the donation cost is $50. They have a pretty broad menu. They have fry and baked chicken, barbecue ribs, potato salad, yams, black-eyed peas, collard greens, rice, cornbread. Oh, it's making me so hungry. Peach cobbler, tea, and coffee. The guest speaker for this banquet would be General Lloyd Fig Newton. Okay, and there's several people here that you can give a call if you should need a ticket to attend the banquet. And this banquet is a contribution or a fundraising for the disadvantaged kids of the Tampa Bay area. So if you would like a ticket to attend this festivity, you can give Hazel Rivera a call at 813-827-9172 or 813-786-3812.
Okay.
Also,
All right. And just to kind of wrap things up, on January the 19th, we're going to have a special event coming up. I'll explain this to everyone a little later on, and we will be probably taking donations for that. Special things like Maseratis or what have you. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But anyway.
I tell you, my host has always got something up his sleeves, and I just wonder sometimes what's he coming out with.
It's a special day. That's all I can tell you.
I got it. Okay.
Anyway, we hope that you have a wonderful day and enjoy the week. And we will be seeing you all next week.
Well, I can't believe that the holidays just so quickly approaching.
Well, to be frank with you, I'm kind of glad. I'm really kind of glad because I get to give my kids their gifts, and then I don't have to wait until next year again, and it's all over with.
It's like the circle; it never stops.
Yeah.
It's like around
Okay.
and around we go.
All right, so that's about it. Yes.
Well, we wish you a safe weekend as you go about your business and conducting your holiday shopping. Please, we ask that you be mindful. Do not, ladies, especially ladies, do not leave your purse or pocketbook on your car seat. And as you're driving, please be sure that your car doors are locked because there's always someone out there that wants to get what you have. I wish you a safe week, a good week, and it's been good chatting with you. Keep us in mind that you can always visit us at militarychatradio.com. It's been good talking with you and have a blessed week.
I think I'll leave my mother-in-law in the car seat. Maybe somebody will take her. Have a great week.